The opening scene features a nihilistic teenage addict, Nikita, who has committed her life to anarchy, drugs, and violence. One night, she tags along with a local gang of thugs and heads to rob a pharmacy. Upon breaking in, she puts on her headphones and hunkers down under a counter, while the rest of the gang search for some drugs. Not long after, the police arrive at the scene and the robbery erupts into a gunfight. After a while of hellish shootout, all of Nikita's accomplices are killed. One of the cops then kneels down to see her, believing that she's harmless. However, Nikita, who is suffering from severe drug withdrawal symptoms, blows off the officer's head with her handgun. In the aftermath, Nikita is arrested and tried. After spending a night in a police station, she is presented to the court, where she is convicted of murder and is sentenced to life in prison. Later, some government officials come to visit her and sedate her with a dose of anesthesia, rendering her unconscious. By the time she comes to, she finds herself in a dull room. Before she can contemplate the situation, she is approached by a well-dressed and hard-looking man who introduces himself as Bob, the hardest name of them all. He reveals that the government officials have faked her death. They have made it appear that she committed the unthinkable and removed her from prison. He attributes this as her chance to amend for the crimes she committed in the past. He further explains that although officially dead and buried, she is now in the custody of a shadowy government agency known as the Center. Following this, Bob presents her with two choices: become a secret government assassin and serve the country, or occupy Row 8, Plot 30, her fake grave. Confused, Nikita requests for some time to think, so he grants her an hour. After the allotted time, Bob returns to hear her decision, but as soon as he steps in, Nikita knocks him down with a chair, seizes his firearm, and holds him at gunpoint. She then threatens him to lead her to an exit, which the latter complies with. The officers in the lobby are alerted by this, but Bob instructs them not to retaliate. After waiting for the right moment, Bob manages to distract the girl and free himself from her grip. He then makes her realize that it's useless, even if she gets out, because the police will not hesitate to shoot her, as she's already dead officially. After a short deliberation, she finally agrees to work for the Center. Nikita's training begins the very next day, and she is taught with computer skills, martial art moves, and firearm handling. Even though she struggles to grapple with digital proficiency, she is very good at fights and using firearms. It is evident by the fact that she effortlessly hits the targets with the given firearms, and also outsmarts the martial arts instructor with her unorthodox moves. Alongside her physical training, she also undergoes her appearance transforming classes with a makeup artist, Amand. It is revealed that the latter is also rescued and trained by the Center. She is currently assigned to transform Nikita from a degenerate drug addict to a captivating femme fatale. On their first session, Amand provides the teen with a wig to help her improve her appearance. She also encourages her to practice smiling, but the latter is not fond of any of this. As time progresses, the training begins to slow down as Nikita shows more of her childish and erratic behavior. She spends most of her time eating, painting her room walls, and watching movies. As a result of this, Bob is summoned by a superior who expresses dissatisfaction with Nikita's progress. Bob tries to convince his boss to grant him some more time, pointing out that Nikita has high potential to become a professional assassin, but doubts linger. He is then granted a 2-week time frame to show the results, and if he fails, the girl will be thrown out of the Center and executed. The scene then cuts to Nikita's 20th birthday, and Bob approaches her with a small cake. After a brief celebration, he says that he is disappointed in her recent progress. He also warns her of the impending consequences if she does not enhance her performance within the next few days. Moved by this revelation, Nikita vows to make extra effort to prove herself. From that point onwards, she commits wholeheartedly to her training and eventually excels in all aspects. Moreover, she visits Amand on a regular basis to learn how to use makeup and improve her personality. During one of their sessions, Amand imparts valuable advice. Let feminine pleasure guide her. She also asserts that there are two things that have no limits: femininity and the means of taking advantage of it. All men are horny and stupid, Nikita. The scene then fast forwards to Nikita's 23rd birthday, and by this time, the young lady seems to have adapted professionalism. Everything, including her attitude and personality, appears to have undergone a profound change. On that same evening, Bob takes her out for dinner under the pretense of celebrating her birthday. They soon arrive at an upscale restaurant restaurant where he presents her with a gift. She excitedly opens it, only to discover a pistol that he claims to be loaded with 6 titanium bullets and an extra cartridge. In an unexpected turn of events, this is revealed to be her first mission. Bob provides a brief on the task at hand. She is to assassinate a foreign diplomat and his 2 bodyguards seated behind her, then escape through a secret tunnel in the men's room. With the mission outlined, Bob departs from the scene, leaving her alone. Nikita is clearly nervous, as the restaurant is crowded and heavily guarded by armed men. Despite this, she takes a moment to calm herself and proceed with the assassination. She grabs her gun, turns towards the VIP, and shoots all 3 of them. Before rushing to the men's room, the commotion alerts the guards, who swiftly start pursuing her. Once she enters the washroom, she freaks out upon seeing that the secret tunnel has been bricked up. Due to her past, she's familiar with being bricked up, and she doesn't have time to react to this betrayal, so she runs towards the kitchen. Soon after, she's ambushed by the armed guards, who start firing towards her. She immediately takes cover behind a table and fires back, but to her bad luck, she runs out of ammo, leaving her powerless. Just before the guards charge towards her, she spots a garbage tunnel and fortunately manages to escape through that. In the aftermath, Nikita returns to the center and vents her disappointment in Bob by beating his ass up. The latter explains that such challenges are part of the training process, which they carry out before graduating the agents into the real world. The following morning, Nikita is prepared for release from the center. She is briefed about her new house, bank details for monthly payments, and a fake identity with all necessary documentation. Nikita then begins her new life as a sleeper agent in Paris under the name of Marie. One day, while shopping at a grocery store, she flirts with a cashier, Marco, and invites him to her place where they end up getting intimate. As time passes by, the 2 develop a romantic relationship and eventually get engaged, although he knows nothing of her real work. Marco is curious about her past and why she has no family or other friends, or why she wanted a cashier. However, she manages to sidestep the subject every time, sometimes laughingly and other times lovingly. Half a year later, Nikita is seen enjoying breakfast in bed when she receives a call, assigning her with her first mission. As a result, she gets ready and heads to the mentioned location, a hotel. There, she meets fellow gang members who seem to be ready for their mission. They instruct her to disguise herself as a waitress and deliver a breakfast set to their target's room. It's obviously not a regular breakfast, as the cups and bowls are fitted with listening devices. Nikita easily completes her mission and returns home. Later that day, she receives a call from Bob, who congratulates her on her first mission. As they converse, she invites him to dinner and introduces him to Marco as Uncle Bob. Marco is clearly happy to meet with the first member from her family. While having dinner, he asks Bob about Marie when she was young. In response, Bob makes up an imaginary story and narrates it confidently. He even throws in a bad dick joke or 2. After a while of conversing, he gives them tickets for a trip to Venice, purportedly as an engagement gift. In the next scene, Nikita and Marco arrive in Venice, both visibly joyful. As soon as they check into a hotel, they prepare to make love, but they are interrupted by a phone call. She picks it up, believing that it's room service, but it turns out to be instructions for her next mission. Here, it's revealed that this isn't a vacation, but a part of her mission. Nikita is informed about a secret compartment in the bathroom containing a headset. As a result, she goes to the bathroom pretending to take a bath. She quickly retrieves the headset, from which she receives further instruction about the weapon. While assembling the rifle, she is told that her target will appear on the roof of the building right in front of her bathroom window. She quickly takes position and waits for the target to appear. Amidst this, Marco tries to talk to her through the door, wondering if she really loves him, but she can't respond just yet. However, this does distract her, as she feels that she's betraying him. When she doesn't reply for a while, Marco senses something is amiss. As soon as the target shows up, Nikita shoots her and barely manages to hide the weapon before her fiancé walks in. Although the situation is managed, Nikita is distraught. On the inside, she feels guilty about taking aim at the hearts of other men. The next day, she meets Bob at a restaurant where he assigns her for another mission, to assassinate an ambassador. He asserts that the ambassador is returning home in 5 months, so she has to get him before he leaves. He allows her to do anything necessary, but he wants the job to be clean and smooth. From the following day onwards, Nikita starts researching her target, meticulously gathering all the information she needs. She surveils the ambassador to uncover his daily routine scenes and collaborates with fellow operatives to keep a close watch on him. After a few months of investigation, she learns that they firstly need to retrieve some vital documents from an embassy's locker. As a result, she decides to retrieve the ambassador's personal key. For this, she plants an operative in a hotel room where the ambassador often visits to see his mistress. Next, she poses as his mistress and leads him inside the room while his guards wait outside. She then forces him to gulp down a drugged drink, rendering him unconscious. As the second part of their mission, the operative hidden inside the room starts disguising himself as the ambassador. However, their mission faces an unexpected hurdle when the center notifies them of a changed code used by the ambassador. Now that they're trapped inside, the center dispatches Victor, a ruthless operative, to salvage the mission and destroy all the evidence of the foul-up. Not long after, Victor arrives at the hotel and swiftly kills the guards before dragging the bodies inside the room. He also kills the ambassador by pouring acid on him. Jeez. The operative begins to yell at Victor for going against the plan, so the latter guns him down as well. It's what he gets for cheating. In the aftermath, Nikita assumes the ambassador's guise, and together with Victor, they head to the embassy. Upon arrival, she heads straight to the ambassador's office, while Victor waits for her outside. She retrieves all the crucial documents from the safe, but before she can leave, she is caught by a dog. The barking sound alerts the surveilling guards, causing the alarm to go off. Despite this, she manages to make it to Victor, but they are ambushed by a bunch of guards in the gate. In a quick action, Victor takes out his gun and starts shooting at all the guards. Even though he manages to neutralize the threats, he himself gets fatally injured. With the last ounce of his strength, he drives Nikita to safety before passing away. Later that night, Nikita, who is devastated by the events, seeks solace in Marco's embrace. At this moment, he reveals that he is aware of her secret life. He will always love her. He also persuades her to disappear because he no longer wants to see her work affecting her mental state. This breaks her down in tears, and she expresses that he is the first person who cares for her. Following this, the two make love for one last time as she leaves early in the morning. In the next scene, Bob, upon discovering that Nikita has abandoned the center, visits Marco's apartment. He tries to convince him to reveal her whereabouts, pointing out that she's in danger because she still has the documents taken from the embassy. But to his surprise, Marco hands over the documents, revealing that he took it from Nikita in order to ensure her safety. The movie ends with the two men agreeing that they will both miss Nikita. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.